At the outbreak of the French Revolution, Austria, with a population of about 25 million, was the most powerful state in Christendom. However, despite this feature, it did not have a religious and national unity. There was the Austrian state. But the Austrian nation did not exist. People of all races, nationalities, religions and languages lived within the borders of Austria. Like Italians, Hungarians, Germans, Slavs and Latins. Protestantism and Catholicism were the two main religious elements. This heterogeneous structure of Austria frightened Austria very much in terms of spreading the ideas of the French Revolution when the revolution broke out. Although the struggle and rivalry between the Habsburgs and the Bourbons was deep, the historical development of the events was different. Although the start of the first revolutionary movements in France pleased Austria, the overthrow of the Bourbon monarchy by this movement was the event that frightened Austria the most. However, the Emperor Joseph II wanted to rectify this multinational and sectarian situation in Austria. Although Austria wanted to apply for social reforms and ensure unity and solidarity, most of the reform initiatives were not successful. Reform attempts often met with popular resistance. The 18th century was a difficult time for Austria, full of wars. In the First War of the 18th century, Austria fought 3 wars with France. The first is the War of the Spanish Succession, the second is the War of Poland, and the third is the War of the Austrian Succession. With the treaties of Utrecht and Reichstadt signed at the end of the First War, Austria captured part of the Belgian territory. Naples and Sicily were defeated in the Second War and lost territory. With the Treaty of Vienna signed in 1738, the Kingdom of Savoy and the Kingdom of Sicily were shared. In the Third War, with the Treaty of Aachen, he ceded Silesia to Prussia. In the 7 Years' War, Austria entered the war to retake Silesia from Prussia, but was unsuccessful. In 1772, in the First Partition of Poland, it took Galicia. Austria appears to have fought 3 times with France in the first half of the 18th century. Although France and Austria were allies in the 7 Years' War, the struggle between the Habsburgs and the Bourbons was never weakened by this alliance. When the French Revolution began, Austria was at war with the Ottoman Empire for the second time in the 18th century. The First War broke out in 1715 and the Second War in 1787.